One of the most Googled or searched terms right now, whether it's on Google or YouTube or anywhere, is how to make money online. And it's a little bit crazy that, the entire world is moving in this direction because of the pandemic. So if you have been running a business online, you will know that not everybody who was online is actually making money right now. So why is that? Well, the biggest thing that I have noticed is that not all businesses are equal. And just because you have a business online doesn't mean that you're making any money. Let's have a look, for example, at Amazon FBA. When there was a big load of teaching from gurus all about Amazon FBA, what they were teaching is that you ought to get products from places like China and then send it to Amazon and sell via Amazon or sell via eBay. But the truth is that with the pandemic and with the whole entire world on lockdown, shipping from China is actually impossible right now. So how are those businesses surviving? Well, my favorite type of business to run online that is pandemic proof, that stands the test of time, that in fact is the fastest growing industry right now, that has low barrier to entry, which means that anybody can do this, anybody can start today, is the information business, right? The information niche. And one of my favorite quotes is that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. That means that the best time to have started in the information business, in the information industry, was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Now, I started out in business when I was 17, but I didn't actually transition to the information business till about 10 years ago, and ever since then, my life has changed. So in this video, I want to show you 5 different ways that you can get into the information business and create your own business that stands the test of time through selling information. So let's get right to it. Hey there, thank you for joining me. I'm Pam Obasa, the founder of The Lucrative Lady, and I want to share with you 5 different ways that you can sell information. Why do I love selling information so much? Well, one of the reasons why I love it, and I'm so grateful that I discovered it, is because, there's very low barrier to entry. You don't have to hold any stock, unlike selling physical products. You don't have to hold any stock. And to be honest, a lot of what I'm going to be sharing with you today, you can actually get done. You can actually execute and implement in a matter of days. And what I'm going to be challenging you to do is to think outside the box. Now, you might hear one of these things and think, oh, but Pam, I already knew that. Oh, but Pam, I already do that. But what I'm challenging you to do is to think outside of the box and to think, well, how can I do this better? How can I do this in a specific way that makes my business pandemic proof, that in a specific way where it's, my sales are evergreen, which means that, if I don't show up for my audience, then, it doesn't matter, my business still continues to go. That is the challenge that I have for you today. And of course, once I share the 5 ways with you, one of the things that I'm going to be really focusing on is going deep into how to implement each of these strategies. What are the core things that you ought to think about, you ought to do? What are the tools that you need? I'm going to be giving you all of that in this specific video. So make sure you stick around until the end. So one of my favorite ways, the first way that I want to share with you, is by creating a low ticket digital product, right? So this is a low ticket digital product. The thing about a low ticket digital product is that, number one, it's digital. So that means that you create it the one time and you profit from it forever, for as long as you keep it going. The second thing that I love about this is the fact that it's low ticket. Now, with the pandemic means that a lot of people are holding onto their purses, and with good reason too. A lot of people are holding onto their wallet. They're a little bit afraid of spending because so many people have lost their jobs, they've lost their businesses, they've lost homes, they've lost so much. But the crazy thing, and the silver lining to this, is that so many people are looking for solutions, and you have the ability to provide them with those solutions. Now, of course, there are lots of people who are profiting from this in a negative way by selling by selling things that people don't need and really marking up their prices. This isn't what I'm talking about here, right? Those people are not going to last very long. What I want to share with you is what you can do with creating a low ticket digital product. Now, what is a low ticket digital product? So it's a digital product that's very, very low in price. Now, I'm talking, if we're talking in dollars or in pounds, I'm talking $9 or £9, anything under the $27 mark. You want to keep it that low. Now, how can you make a profit by doing it this way? Well, it depends. It all depends on volume. What you are banking on is a lot of people buying this product, right? And this is where your money is made. And you might be thinking, Pam, isn't it hard for a lot of people to buy this product? Not really. Hold your horses. It's not hard at all. In fact, I've done it plenty of times, and I have helped so many people to achieve this. And the way that we have simply done this is to create a product around a problem. Right, that is the first thing. So what you have to think about when it comes to creating a low ticket digital product is just to think, well, what problem am I trying to solve? That's the biggest thing, right? That's the biggest thing you want to think about. If you are, let's say you are a designer, right? And the problem you're trying to solve is that a lot of people would love really nice designs, but they don't have the money to invest in a designer to help them, right? Perhaps you might solve that problem by creating some pre-made designs, perhaps some pre-made logos, perhaps some pre-made social media posts, perhaps some pre-made banners, or perhaps some pre-made website templates. The fact of the matter is you're going to sit and think, well, how can I digitalize what I already spent a lot of time doing? And then you're going to create it. And now, how do you do that? Well, you can do that easily using a tool such as Canva. Now, when you get onto Canva, you will see templates for all sorts of things. You can see templates for YouTube headers, templates for Facebook posts, social media posts, templates for creating blog posts, templates for creating blog covers, pins for Pinterest. You see templates for creating ebooks even. You can see templates for creating virtually anything that needs to be created. So if you have design skills, you already know that this is a big problem because I've told you that it's a big problem. Then all you need to do is to sit down and create various templates, and this becomes your low ticket products. For each template, it can have a different price, or you can then bundle all of those templates together to become a bundled up product, which you can sell for slightly higher, such as $49 or £49, or even £97 or $97. Now, we've covered how to source the problem for the product, and we've covered how to create the product. Now, I want to show you how to sell the product. How do you get people buying this product? Well, there are two ways of doing this. You can do this via either paid traffic or via organic traffic. So paid means things such as running Facebook advertising, Pinterest advertising, YouTube advertising, or even Google Ads. So if you have the budget to do that, that is something that you can do. But if you don't have the budget, one of the best ways to sell this organically is via your email list if you have one. Number two is via somebody else's email list, so you could do a joint venture with them. And of course, number three is literally on social media. The great thing about social media is that if you are on social media, you have somebody following you. You might not have millions or hundreds of thousands of people, but it doesn't matter. Even if all you have are 50 people, 100 people, 500 people, you have some followers. So what this means that if you have thought about this right, and you have built up the type of followers that are going to the type of followers that have the problems that you have created a solution for, it becomes very easy to actually sell that product to them using your social media posts. And by the way, when you do this, you've got to be non-salesy about it, okay? You can use all sorts of strategies, such as using stories to sell, and also planning your launch sequence ahead of time. And if you're wondering, Pam, how do I know exactly how to do this? Well, in the description below this and right above, there is a training that I did, an interview that I did, where I shared my exact strategy. And in fact, in the description, I'm going to drop down a case study for you to have a look at, because in this case study, I show you exactly the steps that we took to be able to sell a low ticket product to make $65,000 in a space of 35 days. Okay, so you can do this. That is strategy number one. Here is strategy number two when it comes to selling information. Now, there are many ways of selling information, and all of the strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you today are things that I have used in my business. In fact, they are part of my sources of income, right? So they're not, they're not anything that I've just heard about or read about. These are things that I've tried and tested and absolutely work, right? So the first one was creating low-end digital products. The second thing is creating paid intensives. Now, this is one of my favorite ways that I make money in my business every single month. Now, how do we create paid intensives? Well, it's actually quite simple. It's a similar strategy to creating digital products where you have to think about a problem. Everything begins with a problem. And in fact, everything that I'm going to be sharing with you today, that is the first step. So step one is to think about the problem that you want to solve. Now, step two is to think about how can I solve this problem in an intensive. So what is an intensive? An intensive means that you are going to help somebody. It could be one person, so it could be one-on-one, or it could be group. You are going to help them solve a specific problem in a very quick turnaround. That's what an intensive is. So instead of them doing an 8-week program, you might help them and solve the problem in a weekend. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So think about it this way. If somebody had a presentation, right? They had a presentation to do next week. They've got to do this online for their business. And if they don't do it right, they might lose some contracts, or, they might not be able to get the promotion that they wanted, right? That type of person is in a big rush. They have a massive need. Their need is, I need to get results and I need to get it now. So that type of person wouldn't invest in an 8-week course or an 8-week program or a 12-week program. What they need is an intensive. So do you see the difference? They need somebody who can help them to get results today. And the great thing is that we live in a microwave society. I mean, that's not a great thing, but the good thing about that is that that's why intensives work. A lot of people want things done quickly. So what you have to figure out is, what problem can I solve? And what problem can I solve for somebody quickly? And the key to this is to make sure that it's a small enough problem, but that it has a big enough payoff for them, right? So it's a small problem in that you can solve it in a very quick amount of time, but it's a big enough payoff in the sense that it will make a massive, massive difference to their lives, right? That's how you think about an intensive. Now, how much can you charge for an intensive? Well, in my business, we charge in excess of £1,500 per client for an intensive. We charge in excess of that. Now, I know people who do intensives for $400. I know people who do intensives for $17,000. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So it can be, in fact, not that it can be, it is a really good way to sell information. It's a unique way to get results, especially because a lot of people are creating lots of other forms of information, i.e. creating courses, which we're going to talk about in a moment, because it's a great way as well. But if you can have many ways of selling the same thing, you will do very well online. Now, let's talk about promoting your intensive. How do you promote an intensive? Well, due to the price point of the intensive, the best form that we have found to promote an intensive is actually via your email list, number one, and number two, on a sales call. Now, my favorite way of doing this is actually as a downsell for my high ticket products, right? So I have a sales team, and if as a downsell, if someone isn't fit for that, but I know that they are a good fit to work with, but they're not fit for that specific thing, we might then present and say, do you know what? Let's help you. Let's support you in an intensive. You're not right for this, but, you're a great person, and, we really know that we can help you, and you know that we can help you. So let's do an intensive together so we can solve this specific problem for you. So if you don't have intensives in your business, it is one of the most crucial things that I want you to start thinking about getting into your business right now as one of your business models, because it is fantastic and it is working. So strategy number three. So number one was creating low ticket products. Number two was creating intensives, so VIP intensives. And number three is, of course, creating online courses. Now, you've heard a lot about online courses, and you've probably tried to create an online course yourself. So I'm not going to flog that. But what I do want to talk about when it comes to creating online courses is how to do it in a pain-free way that is also very profitable in a very short space of time. Now, how do you do that? Well, one thing that I've noticed is that a lot of people, when they go to create courses, they go and start creating a course. They start recording the courses, and before you know it, it's taking them 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, and it's a year, and this course is still in creation. And even if it is created, there are no buyers, there are no sales. So when I work with people, I teach them to work a slightly different way, and that is to pre-sell the course before creating it. Now, how do we do that? The first step is to create an outline of the course. No, actually, take a step back. Step zero is to figure out the problem that your course is going to solve. Everything, like I said earlier, begins with a problem. So step 0 is to figure out the problem that your course is going to solve and who it is for. And then step 1 is then to create an outline for your course, right? So, how many modules will it have? How many lessons will it have? And what will each lesson cover? Then what I like to teach is that for each module that you have, I want you to think about, how long will it take to teach a module if you were to teach it live as an intensive, right? So the best way to do this is to figure out a way, how can I teach this course as an intensive? It could be a 4-week intensive, it could be a 6-week intensive, and as you're teaching that intensive, you are recording it, and those recordings become your course content. Do you see how easy and pain-free it was to do it? Because here's the truth, if you're creating a course, and you are staring at your laptop and recording this course, it doesn't really get you excited or fired up or anything. But if you're actually creating the course with people, right, there's somebody else on the other end of that line, there's somebody else watching you, taking action and taking notes. Not only does it give you life and keep you excited and all of those things, but you actually end up creating a much better course because you have the benefit of their feedback, right? So that's course creation covered. Let's talk about selling it. How on earth do you pre-sell this course even before it is created? Well, my favorite way of doing this is via a survey, right? And this works especially well if you have an email list or if you have a social media audience, anywhere that people follow you. So it could be a Facebook group, Instagram, Facebook page, Facebook profile, LinkedIn, doesn't matter where you are, okay? This works anyway, YouTube even. Okay, so you create a survey, and your goal with this survey is to get at least 100 people taking this survey. Now, one of the questions at the end of this survey, of course the survey has to be tailored to your course, to the problems and the solutions that you offer within your course. And then one of the questions you must ask within this survey is how can I reach you? Okay, you have to say something along the lines of, well, I'm going to be putting together a small intensive to teach this specific strategy. Who do you know who might be interested in this? Now, they might put down somebody else's name or they might put down their own name. Essentially, if 100 people have taken this survey, let's say 20 people put down a name. You should get more than that, but let's just be conservative. 20 people put down their name or somebody else's name. What you do is you contact those 20 people and you invite them to schedule a call with you, okay? You're going to be doing some market research. You're going to invite them to a call. Let's say you invite 20 people on that call with you, and let's say that you have a show-up rate of 50%. Now, what is that? That's 10 people out of 20. So 10 people have shown up to this call. You have these 10 conversations and you make them an offer, right, for a beta program. What is a beta program? It means that the program isn't ready. In fact, they're going to be helping you to create it, and they know that. That's really, really important, that you are transparent at all times. So let's say that if you have done, your job really well, you are solving a big problem, you've targeted the right people to complete your survey, and you are good at doing sales calls. And by the way, if you're struggling with sales calls, there's a video right at the top and in the description to help you with that. Let's say you do all of that, you've spoken to 10 people, I want to give you a generous 50% conversion, so that means 5 people buy into your beta program, right? Now, how much can a beta program be? Well, to be honest, it depends on your niche. It depends on your niche. I've seen beta programs go from as low as $197 to as high as $997, right, for a beta program. So depending on what that is, even at $197, if you have 5 people do this, right, how much is that? That's just under £1,000. And if you do it at, say, $497 and you have 5 people do this, that's just under £2,500 or $2,500. Do you see my point? So essentially, you are having other people pay you to create your course by you helping them. So this is the best way to pre-sell your course and create it at the same time. Okay, that is really, really important. Like, you don't go creating a course because you don't even know if people are going to buy it. Okay, you pre-sell this stuff, and then you have the full confidence, you've got some money in your pocket, and you go ahead and create your course. So number 4 is coaching, right? So we've talked about creating low ticket products, we've talked about VIP intensives, we've talked about course creation. Now I want to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that is coaching. Now, one of the ways to make a lot of money online is via coaching, and the reason I love coaching as opposed to all of these other strategies which work really well and which I use all the time is that with coaching you can increase your price tag. Why? Because you can help people even more, and that's what I really love about coaching. I don't do business just to make money. I love making money, and everybody does, but I love more than anything helping people to get results, and that is the benefit of coaching. You will find that when it comes to information, there are lots of online courses that are out there but aren't doing very well because there isn't any implementation. Well, this is where coaching comes in. Coaching is the ability to help somebody to implement what it is that you are teaching them, right? So that they actually get results. So how do you create a coaching package? Well, it's actually quite simple and very similar to creating an online course. Again, you start with a problem. You identify who your ideal clients are, and then what you have to think is go from A to Z, right? So A is this is where they are right now, so this is problem, and then Z is this is where they want to be, this is their goal, and what you have to do is put markers in between to go, what are the steps? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, up to however many steps that you feel they need in order to get to that goal. My recommendation is to make it a maximum of 8 steps. What does that mean? It means that you now have 8 specific strategies, or rather modules or weeks that your coaching program could be. Now you figure out what those weeks are, what those markers are for your coaching program. You give it a price tag, and then it is time to sell it. Remember, you haven't created anything. All you have done, again, is outlined what your coaching package could be, okay? And you've given it a price tag. You've done your market research. You know who it is for. You know what the problem is. Now you are going to sell this stuff. Now, what is the best way to sell a high ticket coaching program? And if you're wondering what a high ticket coaching program is, it means that, you know, it's higher up the cash ladder, right? It's a little bit higher up when it comes to investing in it. So anything above 3K is high ticket coaching programs. I mean, I've seen them go for 6 figures. So just to give you an idea of what high ticket could really be, depending on your industry, of course. So how do you sell this? Well, one of my all-time favorite ways of selling a coaching program, high ticket coaching program, is of course on the phone. Get them on the call and sell it via a consultation. And again, the video is below in the comments where I teach you exactly how to sell on the call. Now let's move on to the final thing at number 5. So if you have thought, Pam, number 1 isn't for me, number 2 isn't for me, number 3 isn't for me, number 4 isn't for me, because I don't like to talk to anybody, right? You might be interested in number 5. Now, what is number 5? One of the best ways, the most profitable ways, one of the most profitable ways to make money online right now is by creating done for you services. Done for you services. Now, done for you services, you know, not all done for you services are equal, okay? So I'm not talking about creating done for you services as a VA or creating just low ticket websites. I'm talking about there's low ticket and there's high ticket. So by done for you, I'm talking about premium stuff, right? What are premium done for you services that you can really make a lot of money from? What premium means things like copywriting, very premium, and things like creating sales systems, which I do in my business, very premium. Those things are premium, and of course premium websites, of course. You know, there are lots of other things that are premium, but those are my 3 favorite ways. Now, why are done for you services so profitable? Why? Because if you target the right group of people, what you are selling isn't actually your service or the product. What you are selling is the ability to give them back their time. That's where done for you really flourishes, because if you target people who are cash rich but time poor, right, if those are the people who you are reaching out to, depending on your industry, then it means that you can make a lot of money doing this, because you are going to be sacrificing a lot of your time providing a very premium service, but for a premium client. Now, what can you charge for this? Well, I've seen done for you services go from $1,000 up to hundreds of thousands, to be quite honest with you, right? So, you know, it's a very, very wide market for this, right? Now, how do you sell this? Well, again, you are going to sell this over the phone or via a sales page, okay? So over the phone means that you're selling it, it's very premium, so it's 3K and above. But if it's, let's say, between $497 to say $2,500 or pounds, you can totally sell this on a sales page, and somebody can book this and then schedule a call with you after their booking, in which case you are now doing a paid consultation to get the necessary information, and then you are going to onboard them. Okay, now how do you onboard them? We love a system called Dubsado. There's a link below so that you can check out exactly what that does. We love a system called Dubsado, which helps us to onboard all of our clients into actually every one of our programs, right? You can also use Trello, which is free, to do this. So those are 5 strategies that work extremely well, pandemic or no pandemic, and right now it is working right now. So my question to you is this: how many sources of income do you have in your business, right? Are you selling information? Because if you are, then you want to really focus on diversifying and making sure that you have various sources coming in. You're selling the same thing, but in different ways. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Right? And if you're not, then I want you to really focusing on, you know, how do I do this? How do I get involved in this? Now, for every strategy that I shared with you, I shared the how. Okay, so you might need to pause and rewind this training and take some notes and actually begin to implement what I have shared with you. Really, really, really important. But I tell you something, the best time to get involved in what I'm sharing with you was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So if you are feeling that you have missed out, don't feel that way. But if you don't take action now, then you will have definitely missed out. So I want you to comment below wherever you are watching this, and you know, let me know what questions you have about any of the strategies that I have shared with you. Which of the 5 strategies that I shared with you intrigues you the most? Which of them are you most curious about? Which of them are you thinking, Pam, I want to get this involved in my business right now, like yesterday, get it going in my business? Which of these strategies? Let me know in the comments below, and I will come back and give you your next step. Okay, so this is Pam Obasa once again. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell, and of course, and I'll see you in the next training. Thank you. Bye bye.